let's have one small riddle quiz. If you find it one, I'm not going to give chocolate. You will be having snacks after the meeting. So I start so small like a dot. I start so small like a dot. Even Google can't find me. No strength, no voice. I start with a rhythm. I start with a rhythm. Then I get a form, later a shape. And I get a movement as well. I am incomplete, I am imperfect, and even unfinished. Despite my progress report says everything is going well. Who am I? Any guesses? Any guesses?
Cell, yes.
Yeah, cell is the right one. Oh, but little bit. A healthy, developing baby in a mother's womb. So to ensure our meeting progress smoothly, we need to follow certain rules. Please take out your mobile phone and put it into silent mode. Thank you. If you want to walk out and if you want to walk into the meeting, please do so when you hear an applause. At Toastmasters, we encourage freedom of speeches with 3 small exceptions. Kindly refrain talking on politics, sex, and religion. Our goal is to achieve a good communicator, not to start World War III. Let's go with the theme. I have a person today who has lived today's theme. Currently, she is helping her husband's entrepreneurial journey in an FMCG company. Her husband designed and planned his production unit so good. It was so perfect on paper. But in reality, it was very different. At one point, her husband planned to give up by seeing a giant wall in front of him. Then there comes his savior, of course, a wife, with a big drilling machine, drilling the hole and made a way so that they can progress further on. Today, that production setup is running up and smooth, still not perfect. But she has learned to progress rather than perfection. Let us welcome our ever-progressing president, Toastmaster Amrith Kaur, and we wish her continued success with a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imtiaz, for that encouraging introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Welcome you all to meeting number 1510. I open meeting number 1510. Before we start our today's meeting, we have a very special ceremony. This ceremony is to celebrate new members coming and joining our club. And for that, I would like to invite our Vice President, Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao.
Thank you, Amrith. Toastmaster Amrith. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
So whenever a new member joins, so we wishes to join the Toastmasters, we are required to conduct an induction ceremony. And today, on 9th January, it is our duty and privilege to induct 3 new members into the club. And great things in Toastmasters are never done alone. They happen when voices unite around a shared vision. As we begin 2026, welcoming new members means adding fresh voices and new possibilities. So let's begin the introduction. So first we have is, let's welcome someone who builds spaces, is now focused on building leadership. He's part of his family business, commercial real estate property development. And he completed his bachelor's degree at Christ College, Bangalore, and went on to earn master's degree in Australia. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Raghavendra. So next we have, let's welcome someone whose journey spans across cities and culture and continuous learning. So he comes from Odisha, shifted base to Bangalore just 6 months ago, and making this his 10th city. And now he calls it home. He speaks Hindi, Odia, Telugu, and currently learning Kannada. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Gautam. Okay, so up next is a person, he is a Java tech lead at the Applied Materials R&D, and where he works at the cutting edge of innovation and engineering excellence. So he graduated in Electronics and Communication Engineering from SRM University. And all two of them have been Speechcraft past batches, and he is from December 2025 batch. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Govind Kumar. So now I would request you all to please withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. You're joining an international organization which helps to improve your communication and leadership skills. You're joining the historic, legendary Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which is one of the oldest and second largest club in the country. I, as a VP membership on behalf of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, along with all my colleagues, express our pride and our joy in welcoming you into our club. So VP Education, Toastmasters Srinivas P, do you concur with me that their mentors have already been assigned?
Yes. Yes.
Do you concur with me that DTM Vijayanand, DTM Rajdeep Manwani and Toastmaster Shiv Kumar are the mentors of these new members?
Yes.
Thank you. So may I kindly request the mentors, I don't think mentors are there today, but we'll definitely meet them in the meeting. So now, moving on to the next one is, the membership in this club and Toastmaster International is a privilege and a responsibility too. So alone we can do so little, but together we can do a lot of things. This means that you must be active members of the club, attend the meetings regularly, and prepare fully duties, help keep our club strong and dynamic. So now I request you to put your right hand forward and to repeat this pledge after me. I, you can say
Raghavendra Michi.
in the presence of my fellow members
In the presence of my fellow members
of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
of Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
make this firm obligation
make this firm obligation
to attend meetings regularly
to attend meetings regularly
and prepare fully for each assignment,
and prepare fully for each assignment,
to apply myself to the projects
to apply myself to the projects
outlined in the Toastmasters education program,
outlined in the Toastmasters education program,
to evaluate others in a positive and constructive manner,
evaluate others in a positive and constructive,
to build open, friendly relations
to build open and friendly relations
with my fellow members,
with my fellow members,
and to bring other new members into the club
and bring other members in the club,
so that they can also gain the benefits of
so
Toastmasters.
that they can also gain the benefit of Toastmasters.
Thank you. So now I will ask only the members of the club to please stand up. Could you please put your right hand forward? Take the oath. We, the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
We, the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
pledge to support you in your quest
pledge to support you in your quest
for self-development,
for self-development,
to provide you with a positive,
to provide you with a positive,
helpful evaluations,
helpful evaluations,
to maintain a friendly,
to maintain a friendly,
supportive atmosphere,
supportive atmosphere,
to give you opportunities
to give you opportunities
to help others,
to help others,
and to make
and to make
your Toastmasters membership
your Toastmasters membership
a rewarding
a rewarding
and fulfilling experience.
and fulfilling experience.
Thank you very much. Please take your seat. So it is my pleasure now declare you as members of Bangalore Toastmasters. So now I request our President Toastmaster Amrith to greet the newly elected members. So we look forward to your icebreaker speeches soon to know more about you. And let's give a big round of welcome to our new members. So now I hand over the lectern back to our President, Toastmaster Amrith.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balakrishna, for that wonderful induction ceremony. And I once again welcome all the new members into Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Can we have a big round of applause for everyone? Before we start, may I request our Secretary, Toastmaster Abhinava, to give the minutes of meeting for meeting number 1509.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. As last week's meeting was 1509 and the date of the meeting that took place was 2nd of January. The theme of the meeting was open heart, open mind and open to opportunities. The word of the day was receptive, which means open to suggestions or improvements. The winners of the last week's meeting for each and every role was as follows. The best speaker went to Toastmaster Surya Prakash. The best evaluator went to DTM Vijay Anand. The best table topic speaker went to Toastmaster Harish Kumar. The best role taker was DTM Darcy Manwari. And the best auxiliary role taker was Toastmaster Puneet Surana. The total number of members present was 33 and the total number of guests appeared was 10. With that being, I'll let you get back to the current session. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Are there any changes to minutes of meeting 1509? No? I pass minutes of meeting for meeting number 1509. I can see a lot of guests today. May I request you to please stand at your place? Wow, that's quite a number. Can we have a big round of applause for all our guests? Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you all enjoy the meeting. We will talk to you after, during the break or after the meeting. Thank you so much. Please take your seats. Before joining Toastmasters 2 years back, I had attended the speech craft program At Speechcraft, I learned all the tools and the techniques to write and deliver a speech. But despite of that, after I joined Toastmasters, I took more than 6 months to deliver my first speech. Why? Because I wanted to write the perfect speech. I wanted to sound like the legends who conducted the Speechcraft session. But whenever I sat to write, it did not even look like a perfect speech, even closer to that. And of course did not sound like the legends of our club. I remember giving a very, very hard time to Toastmaster Priyanka, who was the Vice President Education at that point. Whenever she approached me and asked for a speech slot, I kept postponing it. What I realized was that I was comparing my first step with the 100th step of someone like distinguished Toastmaster Gangadhar sir. I did not realize that he had spent 2 decades at Toastmasters sharpening his skills. Luckily, after 6 months, I took some courage, took help from my mentors, wrote my speech and delivered it. And to tell you the truth, it felt great. After that, every consecutive speech that I gave or prepared, it took less and less time to prepare it. I also realized that in the beginning, I had wasted so much time in procrastinating and wearing the mask of perfection. I realized that I could have spent all that time which I wanted to do. I had joined Toastmasters Club to speak, and that is exactly what I did not do for a very long time. This whole experience has taught me many lessons, and I have put those lessons in one word, which is DIY. Now, it is not do it yourself, but I will share it with you. So D is for do not delay. When we delay things, inertia builds in and we lose momentum and we go further away from our goals. I is for initiate. You do not have to wait for the right moment to come to start. We can just start taking small steps towards the right direction. And lastly, why. Why is for you. I understood that we are the master of our fate and we are the captain of our soul. Which means that once we start moving, the whole world starts moving with us. And it holds very much true for Toastmasters. Because when we take the first step, the entire club, all the members, the mentors, the executive committee, everyone comes together to support you. So I hope you don't make the mistake that I made of delaying things and start giving your speeches right at the beginning. So the lesson I learned was that persistence is the key to progress and not perfection. Now, to take our today's meeting forward, we have someone who is extremely persistent with everything that he does. He is a brilliantly intelligent fellow who joined the club on October 1st, 2024. Within 1 year, he completed his work for level 1. Within 1 year, he took up the challenging role of Vice President membership and organized 2 successful speechcraft sessions. It was primarily because of him that we could have a grand installation ceremony. He is also someone that the entire club, including me, looks up to with a lot of hope. Because he works with Namma Metro. And like all Bangaloreans, I am waiting for him to start the pink line on Bannerghatta Road. So I don't have to experience traffic and I can reach the club on time. And that's not all. He's a big liar. I'm sorry. He's a big lawyer. And that is why he wins table topics with such ease and eloquence. Irrespective of what table topic you give him, he knows how to present his case and win it. He is the jolly LLB of our club. He believes that justice is opinionated, but being just is being fair. So ladies and gentlemen, to take our meeting forward, please join me in welcoming the vivacious and versatile Toastmaster Veeresh. He just wanted a few more claps.
Thank you, Amrith. I don't know whether she raised a toast for me or roasted. But thank you for those nice words. I'm going to make a short video of what you just said about me and going to share it in my family and friends WhatsApp groups. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I can't hear you.
Good evening.
Yes, that's loud and clear. Now the theme for today is progress over perfection. Isn't it true for almost all of us that we wait for that perfect time, perfect momentum, or the perfect situation to start our new journey? Let me share 3 such stories of 3 people to illustrate this further. There was this person named Raghu. Yeah, that's me, my another nickname. In Jan 2025, he said he's going to get 6-pack abs. That was his resolution. On Jan 2nd, he said he's going to finish off all the snacks at his home so that he avoids all the temptations. Okay, perfect. He joined gym on Jan 3rd. After 6 days, his gym friends were searching. Raghu, where are you, Raghu? The second story is about Chandrika. This person, Chandrika, made a New Year resolution in 2025 that she is going to upskill herself. So she bought a musical drum, she bought a yoga mat, and she also subscribed to some Udemy courses. After some time, she lost momentum. The drums have now bitten the dust. The yoga mat has become a doormat. And all the Udemy courses are untouched and unopened, safe in the cloud. She used to be stamp collector when she was young. Now she has become course collector. She has become course collector Chandrika. The third person I'm going to introduce to you is Manager Mahesh. Last year, while drinking in a bar, he told me this: Maga, this year promotion pakka, and in December I'm going to spend time with my family. But what happened later was he also lost momentum, forgot about his dreams and goals. The only promotion he got was from Swiggy and Zomato because he ordered a lot of food from there. And instead of spending time with his family, Swiggy and Zomato are calling him my family because he became a loyal customer to them. From becoming manager Mahesh, he became a mismanaged Mahesh. Now let's not be this Raghu the Maghu or course collector Chandrika or this mismanaged Mahesh. It is January 2026. It is still new month. We can still renew those old resolutions or make new resolutions and give it some force. January stands for new energy. January stands for new momentum. The J in the January shouting from the rooftop saying, just do it. Because the last month, December, the D has decided your fate for 2025. Forget about it and just do it is what January is saying. Because if you don't just do it, then the F in the February is, no, not the deferred guys. Then the F in the February is going to make fun of you. So, without wasting your time, give a new life to your resolutions. It's okay to start imperfectly without waiting for that perfect time or momentum to start. Let's begin imperfectly but intentionally. Now I am reminded of one such person who did just this. Because of his efforts, the Toastmaster has taken a global route. Toastmaster is now spread across 150 countries, 15,000 clubs and 270,000 members. Yes, I am talking about Rao C. Smedley. He worked tirelessly, persistently, and he started with a lot of imperfections. Over a period of time, he improvised it, and Toastmaster has become what we see it today. For the benefit of guests, Toastmaster has a standard format of following 3 segments across the globe. The first segment is about prepared speeches, where speakers come with a lot of preparation to give you gyan, entertainment, infotainment, education, and all sorts of things. The second segment is about table topics, where unsuspecting members are picked by the table topic master and asked to come on stage, and she will ask you to spill the beans on stage and make fun of you. That is impromptu speaking, and that is going to help you think on your feet. The third segment is evaluation. This evaluation is really important in my opinion because we as Indians don't appreciate somebody openly, or if you are criticizing somebody, we don't do it fairly. So this evaluation segment will be led by the general evaluator, who is assisted by tag team. Yes, tag team means 3 people: timer, accounter, and grammarian. These 3 people are the unsung heroes of the club. They work meticulously in order to give you a dashboard of the meeting. They analyze each and everything and give you statistics. Who is now working for the Ministry of Power. So he's a powerful guy, right? So I request the timer for today to not cut off the power if the speaker doesn't leave on time. So just use the red card and that will indicate enough. So just kidding. The timer for today is powerful time Toastmaster Bharat Rao. May I request Toastmaster Bharat Rao to read out the guidelines, please.
The timer is very important in life. It helps in focusing and structuring our day-to-day life, which finally leads to productive life. So, as a timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of entire meeting and individual parts. For today's prepared speeches, it is of 5 to 7 minute duration. At 5th minute, I will hold the green card. At 6th minute, I will hold the yellow card. And 7th minute, I will hold the red card. And for the table topics, it is of 1 to 2 minute duration. At the first minute, I will hold the green card. And the second minute, 1.5 minute, I will hold yellow card. And the last second minute, I will hold the red card. And after this recording session, at the end of the meeting, I will give my report to the general evaluator and submit to the club secretary in order to become part of the permanent record. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Now for the role of accounter, we have somebody who works in the field of technology and he loves to use technology to solve all his problems. But he himself has a problem with one of the filler words, which is you know. So may I request Toastmaster Tirumalesh to read out the accounter guidelines, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Think your speech as in a Google Maps. So when you take pauses, then it is like recalculating. Again, I use your name. And
when it is, when you use fillers, it is searching for a signal. So I will be monitoring your speech. I will be counting down counts, basically like the repeated words, and I will give you the final dashboard of whatever Veeresh has said. And to be a tip, that including me, like be calm and don't be try to nervous, and so that you can use the less fillers and you can deliver your speech properly. All the best to you.
Thank you. Next on tag team, we have an interesting name. What's in the name, you may ask? This person is somebody, when I asked her what is one communication tip that she follows for her speeches, she said she has her own unique style. Now, this Toastmaster is Bhavana. So when she comes on stage, she speaks with Bhavana. So that's why you are the Bhavana for Toastmaster Club, Bhavana. Let's hear the role guidelines from our authentic Toastmaster, Bhavana.
Good evening everyone, I am the grammarian for today, and as grammarian it is my responsibility to introduce a word of the day. The word of the day is persistence. The meaning of it is course of action in spite of difficulty. Now how do you use this word in a sentence? I'll give you an example. If you want to achieve your dream body by the year end, persistence is the real workout. Fun fact is average English speaker can use knows about 20,000 to 30,000 words on an average, and in a daily basis we use only a very tiny fraction of it. And as a grammarian today, it is my role to effectively check on use of those little words. I also encourage everyone to use the word of the day, persistence, and I will present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Now it is time for us to start with the prepared speeches segment. Before we introduce you to the first speaker, I would like to introduce you to the evaluator of the speaker. And this person is a chartered accountant by profession and an author by passion. He is known for his soft-spoken skills, his quick wit and humor. When I met him, he is all about a lot of wisdom and numbers and facts. Because he is chartered accountant by profession. With a big round of applause, let's invite the all-rounder Toastmaster Ganesh Pai to read out the project guidelines for the first speaker.
Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
The speaker is attempting project 1 from level 3, make connections to networking from strategic relationship pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop and practice a personal strategy for building connections to networking. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience by networking. Timer, please don't speech duration is 47 minutes. All the best to speaker and back to the floor.
Now it's time to introduce you to the first speaker. When I first met this person, I was the VP membership and I was giving the guest tour for this person. So he hails from God's own country, that is Kerala, from Kochi, and he is now studying his first year BBA in St. Joseph's College. When I asked him what perfection means or what progress means, he said, perfection is never reachable, and that progress is something which is tangible and something which we can aim for. He is going to give a speech about networking in a stranger's world. So if you are somebody who wants to network and build connections or build business or to start some new relationships, then this speech is for you. So let's introduce you to Toastmaster George Matthew Kanampura with a speech title, Closer Than You Think. Closer Than You Think, Toastmaster George Matthew Kanampura.
Toastmasters and dear guests. Most networking projects are usually super boring, but mine started with a humongous crush on a girl and a plot twist that I never expected. So I had a massive crush on this girl in my college. Not a small crush, but the one where my brain stops for a good few seconds every time I look at her. So what did I do? Sorry. See how my brain goes every time I think of her. So she had a pretty smile, beautiful eyes, and she had the face where you even remember on a bad day. She went from being just some girl to, okay, I need to talk to her and make my move. But I never did, until this project showed up. I said to myself, if I were to go to a networking event, I better start with the most important connection in my head right now. So the day finally came, and classes got over, and she was walking out of the gate. So I said to myself, George, this is my time. This is your time. If you don't talk right now, you'll be simping from a distance forever. So I gathered up my courage and went and introduced myself. Smoothly enough, I got Toastmasters with me. Said how this was a networking project, just to slide in. Thankfully, she smiled and told me her name. And inside, I was like, step one complete. She didn't walk away. Soon enough, I asked her where she was from. And thankfully, she was from Kerala in Alagammai. And I said, my dad actually has an office in Alagammai as well. She quickly responded saying, so does my dad. So I dug deeper. I asked her what her dad does, and every moment she explained what her dad does, this person started to sound very, very familiar. So I asked her, what is your dad's name? She said, Suresh. Suresh. I froze for a second, because Suresh uncle was one of my favorite uncles growing up. Not only was he my favorite uncle, but he's also my dad's best friend and business partner in one of our ventures. And here I was talking to her. Not a random crush, but my favorite uncle's gorgeous daughter. We talked for a bit, and she pulled out her phone. And she said, my dad actually had given me a number that I could reach out if I needed anything in university. She scrolled up to her dad's chat and showed me the phone. Is this you? There it was. My name, my phone number, already saved. We talked for a bit and parted ways. But this network project was not your typical network project. Toastmasters networking project ended up being my biggest wingman. But this was just a warm-up because I actually had to do this networking project. A few days later, I went back to Kochi and I attended the inauguration ceremony of one of our family friends' gaming club. Now, going into this inauguration ceremony, I just had one objective, and that objective was meet at least 2 people that I can talk to and learn something new. At first, it was super awkward. I went in, everyone knew everyone. And those who didn't were on their phone pretending to be busy. At first, I can't lie, I was so tempted to take my phone and pretend to be busy as well. But instead, I went up and stumbled upon a man named Mr. Victor. Now, Mr. Victor was someone who I shared mutual thoughts with. He was talking about the gaming industry and how it's revolutionizing the system in Kerala and how youngsters are more into the entertainment part of things. And he said, we have the money, we have the people, but we have no serious businesses which actually put into gaming and entertainment for the youngsters to stay back. So my take from him was, there's a huge market gap in Kerala for the entertainment industry. Then I later stumbled upon another gentleman named Mr. Jose. Now, Mr. Jose is kind of a legend back in Kerala. He used to be one of the biggest businessmen in electronics and appliances. Until a few years back, he went totally bankrupt. So there I was with this man talking about his life. Although the conversation led to something else, he mentioned one big quote which it's still stuck in my mind. And he said, my biggest regret in life is not moving with time. He had mentioned how he got so outdated and that's why his business went bankrupt. Now this was very profound for me because I was someone who's already into business. So in the end, the girl was the target and the two men were the lessons. And I realized that networking is pretty simple. You just walk up and talk. That's it, walk up and talk. And I could have just been that guy who stands and sips over this girl from a distance. Or I could have been that guy who, in an event, who pretends to be busy. But all I did was walk up and I said hi. So next time you want some advice from somebody, or you want to talk to somebody, or maybe you're just simping over some girl, just walk up and say hi. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster George. I don't know whether it was about networking with strangers or taking lessons and tips for somebody, but I thoroughly enjoyed the speech that you gave. Now, going on to the second speech. Let's introduce you to the evaluator for the second speech before we introduce the speaker. The evaluator for the second speech is somebody who works in the field of microbiology. He works in a medical devices industry with decades of experience. Now this guy has an eye for the detail because he works in microbiology, and he also has another eye for the larger picture in the speech. So I am sure that he is going to do a great job in his evaluation. So without further wasting a lot of time, let's introduce you to the Toastmaster Sitanshuratan Shetty to read out the guidelines for the speaker.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a change management plan. Time manager, please note. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker and back to you.
Thank you. Now let me introduce you to the second speaker. The second speaker is again another judge. So we got two judges giving two speeches today. Well, the first one came from down south. The second one comes from Shumaga, the land of waterfalls. And this judge works for Airbus, and he is going to give you a speech about how you can become zero to hero. And the speech title is Navigating from Novice to Mastery. Navigating from Novice to Mastery, Toastmaster George Sa. Thank you, Toastmaster George Sa. Your holistic view of how to climb a mountain, whether it is a physical one or a corporate one, truly resonates with all of us, I believe. And one more round of applause for Toastmaster. Now let's move to speech 3. Before I introduce you to the third speaker, I would like to introduce you to the evaluator of this speaker. The evaluator for this speaker is an entrepreneur and a passionate trainer with over 9 years of experience in corporate level trainings. An interesting thing about this person is that he plays about 10 chess games every day. He plays 10 chess games every day. How many he wins or loses, I don't know. But he truly equates with this theme, progress over perfection. I'm sure he would have perfected the art of chess. So let's request Toastmaster Shashank Bhat to read out the project guidelines for speaker 3.
Thank you. The speaker is attempting level 5 project 1 on leading in your volunteer organization from the strategic relationship path. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of their experience serving as a leader in a volunteer organization. The speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Now the rest of the speaker.
Now let me introduce you to our third speaker for the day. She is someone who works for a company named Nokia, which used to connect people. When I asked this person what progress or perfection means to her, she said, perfection brings one to a stop, and it is an assumption. And she, it seems, lived in that bubble. Now she is putting progress over perfection because that's what she learned in the Toastmasters. When Mahendra Singh Dhoni used to hit sixes, people would say, "Nahi mar raha hai." When this lady runs, because she is a marathon runner, when this lady runs, people shout, "Priyanka ran, Priyanka ran." Without further ado, let's welcome the Toastmaster Priyanka Ran Ore with a speech title, Influence Without Authority. Influence Without Authority, Priyanka Ran Ore.
A famous American author, John C. Maxwell, once said, "Leadership is not about titles, position, or flowcharts. It is about one life influencing another." Most people believe that leadership begins with a title. Serving as an area director for almost 2 consecutive terms taught me leadership is about elevating others as we rise. As an area director, I was responsible for 5 clubs, 3 community and 2 corporate clubs. Each club had its own strength and challenges. Out of these 5 clubs, 3 faced significant challenge with consistency, quality meetings, and membership retention. That experience reshaped how I viewed leadership. My journey here unfolds the 3 leadership framework, and each shaped with 3 key lessons. The first framework, lead. They say how you lead is how they perform. Lead became the foundation of how I approached leadership, where L stands for listen first. Listening creates trust, and trust opens doors. In many situations, the club did need support. They needed to be heard. Listening gave me the clarity that I could work on what they needed the most, which is the E of the framework, enable leaders. As an area director, it is my responsibility to equip club officers and the members with clarity, accountability, and confidence. And one of the most effective ways I achieved, or I was able to do this, was with strong mentorship. I requested seasoned members from our club and other clubs to guide them and support. And that support made them stronger, and it also created a visible significance, and difference. With this strong mentorship and guidance, I was able to attain the aligned goals. Progression is about aligning club priorities, area objectives, and district goals as one. The result, as an area, we achieved presidential distinguished status, the highest status an area can earn. And this was only possible by applying the D of the framework, deliver support. Consistent follow-up, it doesn't mean reminders. They provide reassurance, and that reassurance builds confidence in them on me. And that is how I led. My success was not defined about what I knew, but how I built my connections and relationships. Leadership is not defined by intent alone. It is revealed through perception. I summarized that experience with my second framework, FEED, where F stands for feedback. I shared Toastmasters 360-degree evaluation form with my division director and the club officers who were a part of my area council. And they had to evaluate me based on these 8 qualities: leadership, communication, interpersonal skills, teamwork and team, building, problem solving, motivation, prioritization, and reliability. And these are a few snippets of the evaluation form by my division director and few of the club officers. Overall, I attained a 4 out of 5, which is exceeds expectations. With that evaluation, what revealed was the area that I excelled was empathy recognized. This was the area that I excelled. With recurring strength that emerged as me being approachable, not only made them feel that they were heard, supported, and understood, it also helped me attain what I needed to be as an area director. Moving on to the same evaluation form also revealed the blind spots. And the area that I had to work on was to be more acknowledging over individual contribution and be more consistent in recognizing those individual contributions. But a leader is one who mitigates those gaps. Working on those gaps, I defined direction refined. Working on this, I ensured and became more vigilant and ensured that I recognized individuals' effort, communicated more clearly, and understood whatever their needs were. Feedback, they say that feedback is a mirror. Leadership cannot avoid. Self-awareness made me a better leader, but leadership does not end without a succession. Then comes my third framework, which defines the leg, where L stands for learnings documented. The key processes, the challenges that I faced were well documented during my area council meet, and that helped me ensure there was a smooth transition, attaining the E of the framework, that is empower successor. And this helped me with a smooth transition, giving the succeeding area director with all the required information and the confidence in achieving the G of the framework, growth ensured. They say that legacy is not what you build, it is what continues. And my journey as a leadership shares three main lessons that I've learned. First one is leadership without authority requires relationship. Second, growth begins with feedback. And lastly, the leadership is not complete without succession. Over to you.
Wasn't that a great speech on leadership? I totally agree with L in the lead, Priyanka. The L in the lead, you just said, listen first. When I go home, my wife says, listen first. And I keep listening, thinking that I'd get an opportunity later. But I never get it. That's why I came to the Toastmasters Club to speak. Now, we have got about 5 minutes of break. But before that, I would request everyone to vote for the best speaker. You might have received the link on the group. The password for the voting link is 1026. 1026 is the password. Key in the password, choose your best speaker, and take a 5-minute break. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second segment of Toastmasters. This segment is going to be fun-filled, a lot of spontaneity, and the table topic master is going to take over the session from here. So, if I have to introduce you to the table topic master, she is somebody who comes with a lot of zeal, energy, and dedication. I've seen her during the speechcraft days. She started off with a lot of imperfections, but over a period of time, with her dedication and commitment, she has raised the bar for herself. She is somebody who has completed BCom and who is interested in practicing yoga. No, I'm not talking about the official yoga guru of our club, who is Rashi. She is the colonial cousin of Rashi, and she also loves to practice yoga. You see, Toastmaster Alagammai C comes from Pondicherry, which is next to the sea. With a big round of applause, let's welcome table topic master Alagammai C.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
In Toastmasters, who conducts the meeting is the Toastmaster of the day. Who evaluates the meeting is general evaluator. But the person who gives the topic is called table topic master. Not the topic master, is that right? Why is it called table topic master? Audience, do you have any idea about it?
Standing on the table.
I also don't know why. This is part of our meeting where we practice thinking on our feet, and the purpose of this is to help us to develop the impromptu speaking skill. And I will give a topic and then call a speaker. Each speaker should speak for 1 to 1.5 minutes. Timer, please note. At 1 minute, hold up green card. At 1 minute 15 seconds, hold up yellow card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, hold up red card. Topics are fun, so relax, enjoy, and let your creativity shine. And remember, this is not right or wrong. The answer is only the opportunity to speak. Let's move on to first topic. If your alarm clock had feeling, what would it say about you? Toastmaster Muridharan. If your alarm clock had feeling, what would it say about you?
Good evening, Toastmasters. I had a reunion call from my college mates, schoolmates. So immediately, after a long time, 25 years, so I'm very eager to go. I purchased a dress and I want to meet my old friends. It was a co-education school, right? So I need to meet everybody. But before that, it was a Saturday, so I need a permission from my family. So how to get permission? I told, okay, let us go to Tanishq. In Tanishq, we went there and we bought a jewel. Then after that I told, this is your gift. Now I have a request. On Saturday, I need to go for reunion. And she told yes. So I'm preparing. I dyed my hair, bleached my face, bought a new dress, and ready to go and meet my school friends. And it is near Whitefield. So I had all plans, what I must talk, what I must tell. Then the alarm clock rang in the morning. My wife told, get up and go and get the milk, don't drink. So the feeling is, alarm clock also doesn't understand my feeling.
But my alarm clock do not say like that. It says do not keep the alarm. What if your hat decides your mood for the day? What if your hat decides your mood for the day? Toastmasters Shreya. What if your hat decides your mood for the day?
Okay. What if my hair decided my mood for the day? So, all the women in this room can understand. You don't decide how you hairstyle. Your hair decides how you dress up and how you plan your whole day. So, if my hair decides to, be a calm, good person, then I'll be in a good day. Okay, my hair looks good. I'm in a good mood. But then, if it starts to do all kinds of being frizzy and making me look like a Hagrid from Harry Potter, then I become cranky, and even if my size is small, I become twice as angry as Hagrid. So my hair, a lot of mood swings depends on the hair. So if you gift a girl anything, gift conditioner or shampoo or hair straightener, do not think about the budget, think about her mood and how happy that will make her, and how that her happiness will not cause you any trouble. Over to you.
I was saying like you. If you were a pizza topping, what would you be? Gautam, Toastmaster Gautam. If you were a pizza topping, what would you be?
Pizza toppings come in shapes and varieties. There is jalapeno, there is cucumber, there is tomato. There are things sometimes which I can't even pronounce. Now, if I were a pizza topping, what can I be? So maybe I'll be a pineapple. Because pineapple in pizza is like one of the really polarizing topics. At Toastmasters, I heard someone saying we shouldn't talk about religion, politics, and things which divide people. I hope there are no Americans here, because it's a topic which seemingly really brings up the feelings for Americans. If they say, like, what is a Hawaiian pizza? What did you like? after the Italians made pizza and they exported it, like you just made Hawaiian pizza, and since then pizza has been downhill. Now the reason why I am pineapple is something which I would have loved to say, but I see Mr. Timer putting up the red card, so that will wait for the next speaker topic.
The next topic, if your pen could judge you, what would it say? If your pen could judge you, what would it say? Toastmaster Pradeep.
My pen could judge, what would it say? The first thing it will say is, please write something legible. How many of you remember your school days? You didn't go there. So back in school days, we had this habit of doing something called as a record notebook. The rest of the classroom notebook would be illegible. It would be full scribblings. But the record notebook had to be crystal clear. Now these knuckles, right? Any of you have this habit of, when I say knuckles and handwriting, anything resonating with any of you? Yeah.
Drama.
Exactly. Some of them are showing the action like, I've got a lot of those. So I have two handwritings. One nice little, almost calligraphic handwriting for the record notebook. And on the other hand, it was as if I was writing on my left hand. It was complete scribbling. But in line with today's word of the day of persistence, it is probably imperative that I had to be persistent in trying to find a legible handwriting. That came in handy when I had to finally write that one letter which made a lot of sense. That one love letter that I had to send, which was a handwritten note. On that, thanks to you.
My friend would say that don't pressure on the paper. The print will come to the backside of the next page, so do not do it. Next topic. Food that you used to hate later became your favorite food. Food that you used to hate later became your favorite food. Toastmaster Chandrasekhar.
I had lived in different parts of the country because of my father's answerable job. So when I initially came to Bangalore in 1999, I always used to have curd rice plain. Okay, no mustard, no pineapple, no pomegranate. Okay, but in Bangalore, if you see, you'll go to any restaurants, you'll find the curd rice sprinkled with fruits, mustard and all that. So I think over a period of 23 years, I think I've changed myself. I used to hate the curd rice with all those fruits now. But after staying in Bangalore, becoming a Bangalorean, I started loving it. So that's the thing, I think, that's the food which I used to hate before, but now I love it. Back to you.
Now it not becomes my favorite, but I need to manage with that because I'm in Bangalore. Share a lesson you learn from the mistake. Share a lesson you learn from a mistake. Toastmaster Devashiv.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. Good evening. And mistake, I do mistakes every day. Today also I did a lot of mistakes. Today I am directly coming from one of my conference. There also something my super boss asked, I replied something negative, then also then I got a good, not feedback, get a good, strong message from them. So I believe mistakes, we should not shy away from the mistakes. When we do mistake, we have to understand for what we have to do the mistake, and we should try to address it next time and learn it. So if you say any specific mistake, I will not say specific mistake today or every day I am doing any mistake, then by when I am going to the bed, before that I am trying to analyze why I did the mistake, why I get this type of result, and try to understand it and to address it, so that next time I will not do same type mistake. So not single mistake, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and to grow and develop myself every day. Over to you.
Next topic, if you could live in any fictional world, which would it be? If you could live in any fictional world, which would it be? Toastmaster Karna
If I could live in any fictional world, which will that be? I think the same word as fiction actually. Yeah, so if you take things less seriously, sometimes if you feel things are working in your favor, no strings attached, to console your mind and to derive eternal satisfaction, you can think and say, so what? Just a part of my larger plan, it can be fiction so far. So it kind of makes you happy about the fact that I have had a certain way of living my life. If I am deriving pleasure from that, I continue doing so. I spread happiness all around. If I don't, and if there are some corrective measures to be taken up, I can train my mind to forget it and move on very quickly, which can result in my eternal satisfaction. At the same time, a lot of people say that if there is any problematic scenario, why would you worry? If you can fix it, why worry? If you can't fix it, why worry? Right? So it is very important to live in present. You treat your world like your toy. You enjoy, you have fun. You enjoy the benefits till you reap. And if it is giving you too much of trouble, think of it as a fictional world, and some days are going to be better from what we have today. That's just what. Thank you.
Describe the worstest food combination you secretly enjoy. Describe the weirdest food combination you secretly enjoy. Describe the weirdest food combination you secretly enjoy. Toastmaster Raghavendra.
I think she's on a roll on pizzas. The weirdest topic that I enjoy is, of course, pineapples. But to go with that, it is jalapenos. I just enjoy the spicy and the sweet taste that goes with pizzas. And I'm just about everything that I eat, and Tabasco sauce. So that's the, again, got the topic, but no, that's the weirdest food combination that I enjoyed. Thank you.
Talk about a book or a movie that influenced you deeply. Talk about a book or a movie that influenced you deeply. Toastmaster Abhinava.
See, there were two twins, Ramu and Shamu. Ramu and Shamu went on a bus and they were given an orange each by their father. And Ramu was sitting in front and Shamu was sitting with his father. Shamu peeled his orange and wanted to eat it, but he was asking his father, "Daddy, where do I throw the peel?" And he says, "Why don't you ask your brother? See, he has already peeled his orange and he's already enjoying it." So when Shamu got down from the bus and met Ramu again, he asked Ramu, "Where did you put the peel?" And he said, Ramu very candidly said, "Next to the gentleman sitting, in the pocket of the gentleman sitting next to me." And it is with all these kind of jokes and stories that I used to enjoy my vacation days and my free time. And the book that used to have all this was called Tinkle.
Tinkle.
I hope everyone remembers it. So I think that book has really shaped my understanding because it gave a lot of facts, lot of jokes, lot of stories. And in this way, I thought, Tinkle is probably one of my favorite books, and I hope you also enjoyed it. Over to you.
I also love the Tinkle book so much in my childhood. If you could swap voice with anyone for a day, whom would be? If you could swap voice with anyone for a day, whom would be? Toastmaster Govind.
Good evening, everyone. If I get a chance to swap my voice for a single day, I would like to swap it with Toastmaster Amrith. And the reason behind that, when I was the part of speech after course, I got a chance. Basically, I got an opportunity to listen to the speech which she delivered to win the area contest. And I was so amazed by it. I thought there was not a single mistake. In place of saying mistake, I can say there was not a single, you can say the R counter, not a single gasp of voice. There was no mistake. And on top of that, that day I was like, okay, you will be the person who will be evaluating her. I was like, okay, already it was my first time to be evaluating someone, and that to have to evaluate Amrith, that was it was a best opportunity for me. So if I ever get a chance to start her voice, it will be Toastmaster Amrith, because the confidence and the crystal clear voice which she has is unreal. I am truly mesmerized with her voice. That will be all.
If a time travel were possible, where and when would you go first? If time travel were possible, where and when would you go first? Toastmaster Chiran.
Time travel was possible, where would I go first? Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, how many of you think that I wish I was like few years back or younger than I was today? That happens to me almost every day. And in that case, so I know this from the 3 decades I have been in this earth. I know that time travel is not possible. So I don't believe in that philosophy of time travel and all those things. Whatever is done, it's done. So you cannot change it. So it's better to concentrate on the future. There is no, like, if someone comes up with a time travel machine also, I think by the time it is available for the common people, we would have left this earth. So there is no point in thinking about that. So think about today, think about future. I think that's what I believe in, and I think if everyone believes, that would be the better thing. Yeah, okay. I saw the green card. That's it.
Time travel was there, I would relive my childhood again. His childhood was a good time to be happier. If you had to teach something, what would you teach? If you had to teach something, what would you teach? Toastmaster Richard
Favorite topic master, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. If I have to teach something that is lead by example. If at all I want to advise someone, he would certainly check my credibility, my track record, how I have lived my own life. Preaching, no one will take at gratis. He will question me who you are. First of all, tell what you have done in life. Therefore, I always lead a good life, and I show that if at all you have moved from a stage to another, certainly people will recognize you, people will support you, and your struggle they will consider as a lesson. There will not be a dearth of people who come to you for guidance, and this I have experienced in my own life, and I am very happy to say that people have not only appreciated me, but also supported wholeheartedly during my days of crisis. Go to tabletop, Madam.
Is technology making us smarter or lazier? Is technology making us smarter or lazier? Toastmasters Hindi.
So, we live in a world of AI where everything you need is available at your fingertips. I see this in my own office where my juniors, they give me results which is like I would have taken a year or at least few months to come to, but they give it in no time. And we all know it's because of AI and LLMs available for them. So yeah, I mean it helps in work, but is it actually helping them get smarter over time? That we have to wait and see. Personally, I think it doesn't help unless you put your own thoughts into it, which is why, even in school we suggest them to use pen and paper to write instead of typing out in a laptop. So I think we have to use our own mind to learn, and only then we can grow. So
For me, social media becomes lazy because by scrolling every apps, I'm not doing my work, only I'm wasting my time. So it's lazy. Next topic. Talk about a disaster that turns out to be funny. Talk about a disaster that turned out to be funny. Toastmaster Vishal.
It was a sweltering summer evening. I was standing in Yashwantpur with a group of my friends. I had to run to pick another friend from the metro station. So I said, please watch my bag and put it down. Now I ran to the metro station, picked up all the kilos of luggage this lady had decided to bring on our trip and ran back to the bus stop. But shocker, everyone's bag is there, but mine seems to have disappeared. At that moment, I decided, what will I go to Gokarna and do? What will I do with no clothes, no mobile charger, no money, nothing? But my friends remained persistent. One put his hand over my shoulder from the right, the other one from the left, and pushed me into the bus. Before I knew what was going on, I was already halfway to Gokarna. I thought it was going to be horrible. I thought that I was going to suffer like I had never known suffer. But turns out it was the best vacation that I have ever been on. I learned how to beg, borrow, steal, everything. And I mean everything. I learned how to fundraise. I learned how to manage logistics. Who gets what at what time? Everything. That is a disaster that became the best moment of my life. Over to you, Tabletop with Master.
Nice disaster. Let's come to the end. Let's give the speaker a big round of applause. Impromptu speaking is not easy. Thank you all, table topic speaker, for their courage, creativity, and humor. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Guys, let's give her one more round of applause. Huge applause, please. She has taken up the table topic master for the first time and she has done it superbly with a lot of creativity in the topics. So that deserves a lot of kudos from us. Now, we are entering into the final segment for the day, the evaluation segment. For this, we have the general evaluator to do this. He is somebody who truly embodies these three words: wisdom, warmth, and wordcraft with the rhythm of ding ding the tha, because he is also learning tabla. He is somebody whom I call as guru, because whenever I have something to sort out or something to learn, I approach him. Even for this role, he told me to stay calm, thrice. And that's what built my confidence for today. He has contributed 20 years towards Toastmasters. He has also founded a club in Dubai. His calm presence and poetic wisdom makes him a guru that you all look up to. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the general evaluator for the day, distinguished Toastmaster Gangadhar Krishna sir.
Good evening to all Toastmasters and guests who are present here today.
Good evening.
Louder, please.
Good evening. Good evening.
With some energy.
Good evening.
Good. Good night. You know, one of the most important things Toastmasters teaches you, this for the benefit of guests, is how to be prepared even when you're not prepared. In the sense, I did not know my phone is going to go on to a 1% judge right now. And I've got all my generally evaluative notes there. What can I do? Panic? No. It tells you not to panic and how to handle the situation. I copied, pasted it to one of my friend's phone, and I've got his phone to work with now. You always learn in Toastmasters how to handle a plan B should there be a crisis. It's a very important thing to learn, and I'm confessing, it has been something which has helped me all the while. And let me open this phone. Yep. Right. The way I would look at it is never look for perfection. And I'm talking from experience. Because you look for perfection, your progress is going to be very slow. Having said that, I would urge all the guests who are here, all the Toastmasters here, to please perfect on your clap. Please do it now. The reason I say that is any person who's coming and standing here needs that little bit of push. Because as it is, he's nervous. So he requires a push. How do you do it? You do it with a clap. And in Toastmasters, they say that you clap till he's on the dais. It's very important to do that. So, it's fine to, like they say, you know, until you kick the ball, you don't know whether it's going to reach the goal or not. But you're going to say, that's going to be the perfect shot I'm going to do, and that's going to be that's where I'm going to kick the ball. You will never kick the ball. You will kick the bucket, but not the ball. So make sure, get the ball rolling, get it going from there. And that's what I think our president also said earlier when he started off as a Toastmaster, a speech crafter, and moved on. All right, how did the meeting go? I still have 1% chance, so use my phone. Sergeant at Arms, I think we started about a minute late, if I'm not mistaken. Because I also got taken by surprise. I thought I'll have 10 minutes to chant, but then I realized straight I was here. Because we supposed to start at 6:20 today. So that's fine. You started with the quiz that I honestly was left wondering. Maybe a little bit of explanation of a second. But you gave instructions very simply, very nicely of what's to be done, the do's and don'ts. And that's the best way to take it forward as a sergeant. No fancy, you know, but just get the things clear, straightforward. Your introduction of the president was nice, dramatic in a way, I might say, but it was well done. You should got 22 more introductions to do. So you started off in the right, and you set the mood also very well. If I might tell some things that you need to work on to perfect this role in the next 22 meetings is, as Sergeant at Arms, learn how all the systems work. Very, very important, because any speaker who's coming here may not use a clip mic, may not have a very high or a low volume, may not be standing here or moving around, depends how it works. So, am I audible at the end?
Yes.
Good. So, it is important that you should be in a position to play around with the stuff there. Number one. Two, ensure that you always have a backup. So start preparing a backup for your to help you. In the sense, when Toastmaster Priyanka had to come here, right? Yes, you only have two hands. You can't be running all over the place, right? So Abhinava went to turn the lights, you know. So always have a backup so you're working and it looks seamless. That's important. Otherwise, yes, it has been a good job. Mind you, the ExCom is new. This is the second meeting. So anything I say should also be condoned. Give him a big round of applause. The president started simply well, and without much ado, she got the VP membership on board because we had the induction today. And taking it from there, the VP membership did where is he? Oh, you're there. Okay. Started off very well. It was formally and ceremoniously done. So that's a good way of doing it because you followed the script and it was very comfortable for you to do that. And she called the secretary who covered the minutes also. It was, I might say, clean, crisp, and to the point. No? Nothing to add or delete from the whole thing. You welcome the guests, which sometimes you do inadvertently tend to forget. But it is not, because if you have a format, that's going to happen for the next few meetings that you're here in this position. So it is very good that you have welcomed the guests. And you started off with a personal experience, which is a good way of doing it, and how you started into speechcraft and moved into, and your speeches and waited for 6 months and then kicked off kind of a thing. So it also not only tells about herself, it talks about progress and perfection. It also tells various guests, hey, I did this, and this is my some folly. You can also join and you can also do well, as I have done kind of thing. So it had, I think, a double-edged sword in a way. It was very nicely done, I thought. If I might say something, as a president, use this gavel with some authority, right? You don't be very feeble. I was wondering why. Is the gavel going to get hurt or are you going to get hurt? So, use it with some authority, right? And that's what it's there for. Where do I move now from here? I still have 1% charge. I will come to Toastmasters of the day in a while. And before I do that, let me go to the tabletop master. Alagammai, love you, did a great job. You know why I'm saying that? Because from the day one I've been seeing you, you're so demure, so shy, hardly speaking, and today you cracked some jokes which I didn't expect to come from you, but it came. What is tabletop? I don't know. See, that tells you the presence of mind that you're slowly building as you're standing here and talking to people. And for the benefit of guests, once again, that is what it can do when you come here regularly and you're persistent as a Toastmaster. You don't have to be perfect. I am not perfect. But you've got to progress. That's important. So you did a fabulous job on that. Your topics were pretty varied, I thought. Easy to think, nothing, not rocket science, no? And you had a comment for everyone. It's a nice way of taking the whole thing forward. And what I loved about what you did was, you stayed on stage when Toastmaster Richard was there. It's a very, very important thing in Toastmasters that never leave this place empty. There has to be somebody here between the time when we start the meeting to the end of the meeting. That's a very cardinal rule I learned and I'm sharing that. And you did it, which is really good. If you could do something better, raise your volume or use this. It will help you. It will help you from the point of your voice goes across. Many times people may not have heard you, or no, and if you speak a little bit slowly, you repeated the topic twice, which is very good. Where do I move from here? I think I would love to call the evaluators of the speech. So for the first speech by George I, Matthew, can I request Toastmaster Ganesh Pai, please come and share the evaluation.
Network is your net worth. Network is your net worth. The Toastmasters guests George, Matthew, whilst at the outset this might come across as a clever wordplay, but it's possibly a potent proclamation of benefits of networking. And precisely the reason why I think Toastmasters wants members to usher into the journey of networking, unlock its benefits, and unfold in the meeting how it really helped them. At the core, this project requires a member to share stories, learnings, and benefits of networking. And let's explore how Toastmaster George Matthew fared. Some of the aspects from his speech that hit home for me were: number one, novelty. Typically, when you hear of networking, you think of a BNI event, a conference, right? But today I learned you can use a function as well as a potential networking event. So that way he broke the stereotype of a networking event. Very well done. Second was the learnings. He very clearly articulated what he learned from each of those interactions, how he broke his inhibition and met Mr. Victor and learned about the market gap in Kerala, and how Mr. Jose told him about the need to move with the times, else you get left behind. Very well done. Also, there was a very clear-cut takeaway from his whole speech, right? When he said, just walk up and talk. And that's the quintessence of networking. Many times, everybody wants to meet, talk, but just that we all have inhibitions. And the one who takes that first move invariably gets to make the connection. So, very well. Now, some of the things which I felt you could work on. One is, once it was very clear how smitten you are by Suresh Ankal's daughter, but I thought that was not really required, given that it is about networking and not dating, and I thought it was slightly force-fitted. That was one. Second is, when you spoke about networking and connecting, but it is not just connecting, it is about staying connected. That's what matters. So whilst there was meat, but there was no gravy in terms of benefits, right? So you have to stay connected, and that's when you really make the most out of the networking. I thought in the beginning there was a bit of a slip up while you were quick on feet and made it up, but I guess that's something you can work on in terms of being well prepared. So all in all, a clear speech outlining experience, learnings. You could elevate it by keeping sharp with one story and adding benefits. That said, wishing you all the best in your networking journey. Hope you get more explorative, meet more people, and all the best with your dating journey as well. Back to the
I think that was a real audit from an auditor on your speech. I heard your speech, it was nice, there's nothing more to add, except I felt, there are sometimes you can easily add a little bit of spice if you practice it, maybe talking kind of a thing. Because one thing that caught my attention was, you said, some girl. She's not some girl. Not some girl. She's not some girl. The expressions make a difference too. You personify the girl itself, how she must have been kind of a thing, Alright. George II. Okay. We have Toastmaster Sitanshuratan Shetty coming to evaluate George Lisa. He's been my savior with the second iPhone that I got. Thank you very
much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Every speech has got a purpose, and the best benchmark that an evaluator can use for evaluating a speech is to use the purpose of the speech in order to evaluate it. That's number one. Now, Toastmaster George is at level 4, which means that he's crossed level 1, 2, 3, and so many speeches, which means that there are some basics of a speech like the structure, the delivery, the content. So I'm going to be looking at two aspects. One, where he did well in terms of the basic elements and what are the areas of improvement, and secondly, in terms of the purpose of the speech. Now, looking at the basic elements, what I saw in this speech was that, firstly, how did Toastmaster George Lisa engage us? By using a story. Do we all love stories? Yes, no? Yes. Yes. We all love stories, right? And that's the basis of a great speech. He had a clear voice, and he even checked the mic to ensure that his voice reaches all of us. What I also liked about his speech is that he just did not thrust a message down our throat, but he also summarized his 3 points, saying that without blueprint, also you jump into it, you will have struggles, and always look at the long-term viewpoint in terms of the journey to the top. So these were the 3 points. Now, if I were to give Toastmaster George a couple of suggestions, if I can have a look at that, yeah, he's there. So the couple of suggestions, Toastmaster George, are firstly coming to what the project required. The project required you to analyze a situation, then decide an objective, and then based on the data that you collect, you decide on a path. So what I missed was a situation analysis. I would have loved to hear from you that I was in a situation where there were 40 people, but they were dotted line reporting into me. So I had to influence without authority, and I had to establish myself as the technical expert. And then I took upon this path. It was this arduous path which took 7 years. You got into specifics, excellent. But that situation analysis, I missed that. The second thing, Toastmaster George, if I were to give you the second suggestion, it would be this. One needs to know what is the long-term perspective of the change that you want to bring around. So I would have looked at what are the next steps you are going to be taking, and that would have been where you concluded with a bang. So these are the couple of suggestions. A great story, you had a clear voice, a great articulation, a good summary, the situation analysis and the data analysis, and then concluding with the next steps would have given us great perspective. All the best for your next speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shetty. Moving on from there, for Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey, we have another trainer auditor, I might say. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Shashank Bhat.
The biggest quality of a leader is not to be authoritative and lead others. If you influence others so that the team members achieve the goal, your mission is accomplished. For Toastmasters and guests, and Toastmaster Priyanka in particular, the purpose of this specific speech which Priyanka delivered was to use her leadership skills in the volunteer organization and lead that organization, and to also take feedback from others, and to also have a proper succession plan. And trust me when I tell you this, fitting all these 3 categories or requirements in this speech, in a speech, is practically next to impossible. But she did a brilliant job in explaining to us, sharing us a lot of points about what she did as a leader. She used this example of her being an area director and leading 5 clubs, of which 2 to 3 clubs were struggling, how she converted the struggling clubs into being a president's distinguished area. However, when she added a lot of points, the best part about her speech was the way she categorized her speech. She had to talk about leadership, she used the acronym LEAD. She had to talk about feedback, she used the acronym FEED. And she had to talk about succession plan. I don't know why she used LEG, but again she used the acronym LEG and explained it to us there. Most of the points which had to be covered were brilliantly covered by her. So we learned a lot about how a leader should be and how a leader should act as well. Moving on to a couple of recommendations to make an already good speech even better. The first point is, when you added a lot of points, it was mostly theoretical. You could have also focused on how you did it than saying what you did. I know you spoke about, when you spoke about empowering others, you spoke about the fact that you used mentorship here, you used a lot of members from this club and helped other clubs. You could have used more such examples to convey the point. Because in few cases it was only the points, but how did you do it? Maybe that would have added more value to your speech. Second point is regarding the feedback. When you use the 360-degree evaluation and took feedback from others, you simply rushed aside by saying, I got 405 and this was the point. Maybe you could have focused more on what was covered and what was the biggest takeaway from there and how did you use it in your life personally, right? And third one is regarding the conclusion as well. While you spoke about all the qualities of a leader, you could have stressed more on what is in it for us or what is your takeaway for us. While you added 3 points there under like LEG and added 1 line each, but you could have added a call to action towards the end. So next time when you come across this situation, maybe use this technique so that you come out as a better leader. Something as a catchy conclusion so that we can take away something from your speech specifically. However, nothing to take away from the fact that covering all these points of your experience in a 5 to 7 minute speech is impossible, but you did a great job in explaining to us. And congratulations on becoming the President Distinguished Area Director and a great job done. Looking forward to your speeches again. All the best.
That's a great evaluation. Thank you, Toastmaster Shashank. And if I may just add one thing on that is, you used so many acronyms, it's possible that people might forget what was first, second, or what it meant. I know it's something like lead, feed, leg, right? That, okay, but what they meant, you might get confused with, when you're doing that. When too many acronyms got into the picture, I felt. Think about it, that's all. One other thing I always want to tell all speakers as they come here, and again, Toastmasters teaches you this one thing. Because I have seen a lot of prolific speakers who have come. They've come always a little ahead of time. They've come here and seen what the stage is like. How do I look here? How do I look at all the people around? How does the microphone work? How does a projector work? So that there is no hiccups. It goes rather seamlessly. And that can be done only when you come a little earlier. And even the best of speakers, I've seen them coming early and trying to get the feel of the ambience of the environment. So this is one of the things I would tell all speakers as a matter of fact. And have I forgotten anybody? Only one person remembers. Yes, I forgot the Toastmasters of the day. You did a great job. And where are you? Started with some anecdotes and related the theme of the day. And 3 of the people, what are the names? Raghu, Chandrika. Okay. Can any of you remember? You do. You're an auditor. Once again, from those 3 anecdotes, he moved very well and comfortably and got a transition into Ralph's East Medley and what the Toastmasters movement is all about. You could have added, I'm not sure whether you did, because maybe my attention was between my battery charge and this. How many clubs are there worldwide? You did, then my battery charge was low. Yeah. And you clearly shared the meeting format, which is very important since we have so many guests here. And even if it is one guest, it's important for them to understand what is the meeting format, what should they expect. So that was a great thing, good thing you did as a matter of fact. However, you did not get the GE into the picture, which generally is done. Doesn't matter, it's not because me, I'm just saying. So you always get the GE there and then say, okay, he's going to be handling the tactic. And of course, what the tactic does. So that could have been done. And yes, you had, one other thing I want to tell you is, if there is any change in the role takers for the day, it's always good for the Toastmasters of the day to say, hey, these are the changes that's going to happen. For example, our grammarian was not Joel, it was Bhavana, right? So we have Joel there and we have Bhavana here. So you have guests who are wondering who's Joel and who's Bhavana, right? So it is better to clarify that when you're having any changes to the agenda. And once again, you called out only a couple of names with loudly and with aplomb. you might as well do it for all the role takers who are coming here. Let them feel good about it, and let people ensure they clap, they encourage the person who's coming here. It's very important. Yep, and I think otherwise he has been very comfortable, and he has not had any discomfort when he's been handling this. As the president rightly said, he is very good with table topics. So he was handled the whole stage as Toastmaster of the day as a big long table topic for him. So he did a great job. So with that, I want you to applaud Toastmaster of the day, all speakers, all evaluators, Sanjay, you got your clap. President and everybody who've done a great role as they came here. Please. Finally, I said how the meeting went in my opinion. However, the tag team have a role to play because they are the subtle policemen here. They determine how certain things, certain aspects have been handled. So for that, I call the timer to give the timer's report.
Dear President, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I enjoyed all the speakers as well as table topics. I also feel guilty for putting a red card during Toastmaster training, shifting the transition from calligraphy handwriting to love letter. So as a time rule, today Priyanka Rannorey took a little bit extra of 1 minute. Otherwise, all speeches and table topics are well within the time. Thank you. Over to.
Thank you. We move on very quickly to the R counter. If you could share the report of the R's and R's.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here is my R report. In prepared speeches, Speaker George Matthew used so many six source, and George D'Souza used so 3s, and in coming to table topics, Muralidharan used 5 source, and Toastmaster Gautam used 10 hours, 1, and so on, and then Chandrasekhar used 5 hours, so 3s, and then coming to Chirant, he used 5 hours, and yeah, this is my.
Moving quickly on to our grammarians report, may I call Toastmaster Bhavana.
Good evening once again. I can't remember that good at grammar, but despite that, I did my best. Good usages of words are imperfectly but intentionally. Fake to uncle's gorgeous daughter, curiosity to expertise, transition to personality, calligraphy to handwriting, swell from summer is like legacy is not what we built but what continues. Not so good usages are big brands using collective in terms of collective way. It is our pick. This guide, a formal way of telling would be the speaker. A holistic is and holistic. What would it say? So be what would it say? Whom would it be? Would be who would it be? And a lot of speakers today were little persistent at not using the word of the day. The ratio is 23 to 6, which 23 are the number of speakers who spoke today, and 6 are the number of people who use the word of the day. Those 6 are Amrith, Toastmaster Amrith, Toastmaster Pradeep, Toastmaster Veeresh, Toastmaster Vishal, and DTM Gangadhar, and myself.
Thank you very much. So have I missed anyone? I don't think so. All right. Yes, if I I want to thank the ExCom for giving me this opportunity to come on stage and share my thoughts. And I also take this opportunity to tell the ExCom that yes, the whole ExCom is new, it's infant, it's still on its, trying to get its way around. But have a transition of handover takeover. Then what happens is, it's very easy. Like I remember when I took over as Sergeant at Arms 20 years ago or 19 years ago, I was given a small little card from the Sergeant at Arms. It had do's and don'ts, some 7, 8 do's and don'ts were there. So if you can do something like that, it will stay for posterity as well. And it's very easy, generally think what you can do, what you should not do kind of thing. So it will help a lot. Otherwise, I think for a second meeting, the ExCom has done a great job, and I want to thank you all and give her a big round of applause to the entire ExCom. You know, when they say, when you go and watch any film, the last 1% of life that's left glows. My phone is still on. And I want to thank all of you for the patient hearing. And with that, I want to hand it over back to the Toastmaster of the day. Before doing so, the password for the voting is 1026. I repeat, 1026. Toastmaster of the day.
Wasn't that a wonderful evaluation by distinguished Toastmaster Gangadhar Krishna, who is also the guru of the club? So, big round of applause to DTM Gangadhar Krishna, please. Now, I'm going to give you 10 seconds of time to do the voting. So, I'll say how they say in Antakshari. Tick tick 1, tick tick 2. And tick tick 10. Before I end my part, let me share a small thing that I learned at Toastmasters. I began my journey here with a lot of imperfections. I stuttered, I fumbled, and I also jumbled on stage. But what was important was, despite these imperfections, I learned how to be confident on stage. And thanks to all these senior members here, like our DTMs. So now let me hand the stage back to our President, Amrith Kaur.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Veeresh, for having a brilliant meeting. Can we have a big round of applause for all the role takers and speakers who came on stage? We recently had an installation ceremony where, for the previous term, we gave out a couple of awards, and some members were missing in the ceremony, and I am going to call out those names now. First award goes to the most valuable team player, Alagammai C. Then there is a level completion certificate for level 4 for Sitanshuratan Shetty. There is another award for most valuable team player for Toastmasters Sitanshuratan. And lastly, we have someone who was a huge contributor to the Speechcraft program. He was a Speechcraft coordinator and he also completed level 3 of motivational strategy. May I call upon Toastmaster Jacob Epid. Alright, now it's time for awards for today's session. For Best Auxiliary Role Taker, we have Toastmaster Bhavana, the Grammarian. The best role taker, any guesses? Is none other than Toastmaster Veeresh J J. Our table topic Best Speaker Award goes to the powerhouse Toastmaster Vishal Vasantakumar. The Best Evaluator Award goes to the one and only Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. And finally, the Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster George Matthew. Alright, now we are at the end of the meeting. I will close meeting number 1510 with a bang. Before, I just have a small announcement. All the guests, please collect your snacks, and there will be Toastmaster, our Vice President Membership, Balakrishna Rao. He will be taking, he's standing behind. He will be taking a briefing about Speechcraft, membership, and anything regarding Toastmasters. Thank you, everyone. May I call all the winners to come on stage for a picture?